Welcome everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Preview along with head coach Bryce Drew. This is Todd Eichow, and we take a look back at this past week. Two games. I think the game everybody remembers, unfortunately, is what happened on Saturday at home against New Mexico with the big crowd. But before that, a great win on Wednesday night against Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, we went into a tough environment. They'd won 25 straight non-conference home games and 31 of the last 34 home games. And to go in there and be in our fourth game in 6 days, I believe, to be
away from home,
to be able to do that was a remarkable win for our guys.
So then after that game, you're obviously feeling good, happy to go home, and then what happens?
We came home. We had a couple days to prepare, but basically it was trying to get our legs back. So we really didn't get any practice time. It was more just refreshing time and prepping for the game. And we thought we had a good game plan. Thought guys were really excited. And when we got in the game, we just couldn't make any shots. And it seemed like when we couldn't make shots, the energy got kind of sucked out of us. And you got to credit New Mexico again. They played excellent defense, perhaps the best defensive team we'll face all year. And then they have some good experience in the backcourt, Hugh Greenwood being one that really controlled a lot of the game.
One thing we've seen this basketball season, maybe more than any in recent years, is games where teams just kind of fall apart. You guys did it to a number of teams. Mm-hmm. Certainly Drake fell apart in the second half. Murray State fell apart in the second half, and a lot of that was how well you guys played. And then you look to what happened on Saturday, and things just weren't going your way. Basketball, if there's any sport that's a game of momentum, basketball seems to be that. What happens? You've been in games like this. You can't make a shot, and things just kind of snowball.
Yeah, you're trying to find energy. You're trying to find some, extra endurance out of your guys. And when you make shots, it's amazing. It just comes. And when you don't make shots, you just play tired. And it's much funner when we're on the other end of it than the end we were on Saturday. But as in any situation, you want to make a learning experience. So, we're reflecting on that game and trying to learn. So if we're in that situation again, hopefully we'll react and we'll do things a little differently.
We always like to be positive here on this show. And if you look at the first 10 games, only 3 of them being at home, to be 8-2, it's an awfully good start through 10 games.
If someone would have said, hey, if you could be 8-2, if they'd asked me a month ago, we'd have taken it hands down. So, we're thrilled to be where we are, and we still think our team can improve a lot. So, now we're back on the floor and we have some practice time to actually improve.
All right, and you get what I guess some people would consider almost like a practice game. It counts in the standings. It's a real game, but it's an NAIA program in Trinity International. It's struggling right now. You can't hide that fact, and you guys have them outmanned. And maybe one of the big questions is why you play games like this. Why is Trinity International maybe on the schedule? I'll give you a chance to kind of explain what goes through the scheduling process.
There's a variety of reasons. First in scheduling, everything has to align with the games and the times and things like that. And so this was a period in this December, mid-December area. A lot of teams were filled up. And so as we went through a lot of Division I schools, we couldn't get games. And so then we had to look to go outside to get some non-Division I games. So the first is the scheduling, the timing of the scheduling. The second would be just having home games. Like you said, we've been away from home we've only played at home 3 games, and we're already mid-December. And so to get some home games, sometimes we need to go outside Division I. And then you look for an RPI standpoint, and it's sometimes better to play a non-Division I school than to play a team that has a really low RPI because they could lower your RPI where non-Division I doesn't affect your RPI. So, there's a lot of reasons like that. And I think the timing for us off this stretch, we've played, 5 games in 9 days. We got guys who are banged up, and so I don't even know how many minutes some guys will be able to play tomorrow.
It always seems like scheduling has been difficult for Valpo. And obviously it's a small school. A lot of the big schools won't come in and play, no doubt about it. And the other thing is you guys over the years have been very, very difficult to beat at home. Not many teams do want to come in here and play.
I think we went over 80% of our home games the last 20 years, and our crowd's been spectacular and been great. And that's why, I even credit a team like New Mexico for willing to do a home and home with us and come in. And so it is difficult. We're trying to get teams in, and we'll continue to try. And hopefully in future years we'll have some good, attractive home games.
One good game is Saturday. Ball State's not having a great year, but it's a Division I team from the state, a school that everybody knows, and they'll pose a test for you on Saturday, right?
Definitely. They're very well coached, and they run a really good system, and they have a lot of good talent, a lot of younger players from the state. that are good now, but will be even better in the next coming years.
And it is important to get wins over teams like Ball State because eventually there's times when you'll be recruiting some of the same players.
No question. We've done that in the past. We did it again this year, and it'll be a continual thing that we'll recruit against each other.
All right, let's talk about one player before we go. Keith Carter's played so well for you guys this year, and you look at this past week, and yeah, you guys didn't win the game against New Mexico, but he continues to be such a pest defensively. Had 4 more steals in that game. Week in, week out, he's outplayed these top point guards that we've seen, Murray State, Eastern Kentucky, gone against a lot of very good point guards, and he's really outplayed them. And we talked at the beginning with Lexus going down how important Keith would be for you this year. He has stepped up his game.
No question. I think the first few games he was struggling to maybe find his rhythm, but once he's gotten comfortable into that role, I think it showed with our team's results, and it's a direct reflection, like you said, to his play.
All right, good luck this week.
Thanks, Todd.
For head coach Bryce Drew, this is Todd Eika. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on Valpo Basketball Preview, brought to you by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority.